Hey guys, Casper here. This video is for coal. I want to do a coal update for you, because I think we are at a moment where coal could be, well, coal is actually very, very interesting. We're gonna look at the NCF here, the Newcastle Coal Futures. Then we're gonna look at two stocks. That is one way to play it. There are more stocks, of course, but again, these two are probably, the more famous ones that everyone talked about in 2022 for good reason. They did tremendously well. Before we start, I just released a video for subscribers about silver, looking at very, very long-term time frames and then zooming all the way into the 5 minute, then back out again. Because I think we are at a moment where a tiny, tiny triangle could be the first domino to fall. It's a 1 week old triangle. If that falls, we should be, see the move here, or the first step in order to go to 40 and beyond, by the way. So check it out on the Substack. You can find it there. Good. Coal. Yes, coal. We have here, how long do we have? We have 15 years of data. Overall, a really, really strong technical chart. Again, the levels are getting respected very, very much. That is good. That's exactly what we want to see. And 2011 here and to there, these are the highs. We broke out here and we've just done a huge back test. So you can see the break here above 110. We rallied to almost 500 up here. What a move that was. And from 500 all the way down to like 100 here. So we're down 80%. 80% we're down. What we are watching now, or at least what I have been watching for quite some time, is this 3-year-old wedge pattern. That's the big one for me to be broken. And you can see the back test here. Yes, we did, get a little bit below as well. That's fine. Um, but the wedge here is about to be broken. And we have been talking about the $115 level for coal in quite some time here. You can see the reason why. That's the pivot here, the big pivot of the triangle. This triangle here is 2 years, excuse me, 1 year old. A big bearish triangle, right? Where you can see we're ping-ponging here and breakdown, right? So that triangle low, which again was hit here, by the way. Remember, if you break a triangle, either way, the triangle low in this case is often a place where people have their targets and you see a little bit of a pushback, or like a retrace. And we rolled over, testing again from the low side here. And that's when things are getting interesting now, because we are getting into the wedge of this whole blue wedge pattern here. And you can see here that now we are potentially breaking out here. What could be the making of the right shoulder here. So therefore, anything above 115, not only are we completing the major backtest of the 10-15 year trend line here with a smaller time frame bottoming structure, but we're also breaking out from the blue wedge. Therefore, when and if that happens, in my book, coal is looking really, really interesting and very bullish, and there is most likely money to be made here. So like a weekly close above 115 is probably what you want to look for. But again, anyway, in this region here, above 115, we should be good to go. And what does this mean? Again, targets wise is a bit difficult for me to, project at this moment. But I will say this, 150 is most likely my first, bigger resistance, right? If we get to here, we could get a pushback and then break again. And then you have bigger structures, and then you can start to measure stuff as well. So yeah, 115 and above, very bullish on coal when and if that happens. We're going to look at two stocks. Again, the charts are very messy because they are very volatile. And as you can see here, they have had in 2022, they were, one of the biggest performers. Look at that. From 2020, they're basically up 100, 10x, basically. We're up 10x. So, and you can see here, we had a big rising wedge and we broke down in December 2024. So that is never, ever a good thing to see, really, to have a wedge break. Um, and you can also see here that overall, again, this might even be incorrect, but overall, the chart here is also very difficult to predict a little bit because, the breakdown is getting really, really messy. However, this pivot low here, which is basically a little false breakdown from the wedge, you can see here as well, and then all the way across, that is resistance. But also here now, we're making the bottoming structure here. So met coal above roughly 51 is a really good entry in the coal sector. And based on this alone, this little, what's that, roughly 3-month bottoming structure, the target is 65. So that is the target from this alone. And yeah, you're getting, in my view, some good risk and reward right there. We are now at 47, so 51 roughly will be where we go and do like 15% at least in the short term here, 15%. So yeah, that is met coal. Do they pay dividend? Should we check? No, not really. It doesn't matter. So that is met coal. And remember, there are many other stocks that might have better charts and all that, but I've chosen the met coal and the BTU because they are, the more known ones, you can say. And here we have it as well. The BTU, again here with a big breakdown, at the start of 2025, almost the same time as the met coal broke down from the wedge, right? Big breakdown as well. Sideways range. This was actually looking really, really constructive, but we broke down now. However, this downtrend here has been broken. This is roughly half a year worth of downtrend, broken in April. We had little squeezy going on there on the way out as well. So we can also add across here, the similar head and shoulders is in the making here. So once we start to get north, I want to go a little bit higher, to be honest. Let's say 15.5-ish. That's when we have for sure triggered the bottom and we should get back into the overall channel, maybe do a back test, and then we're going to go. So these are good ways to play it. I can't remember if BTU pays a dividend. They paid 2, but I think they paid a lot more at some point in time. But yeah, and just before you go, again, this was just a look at the beauty of that bottoming structure there in 2020. Big puke right here, and the measured move. Did we hit it to perfection? Wow, we actually did. That is fantastic. We actually hit the measured move. Again, this was done quickly on the fly. So yeah, that is coal. 115 on the coal futures, the Newcastle. And I think coal is in for quite a run here for the next period. After a big back test of the 15-year trend line and the wedge break and the smaller time frame bottoming structure. So therefore, coal, I think there's money to be made there very, very soon. And yeah, have a great day, guys. As always, find me on YouTube, find me on X and on Substack, where I do these kind of things almost every day on different sectors in gold, platinum, oil, a little bit of crypto, uranium, of course. We do it all. So have an amazing day, guys, and stay safe.